G'day, hope you guys are doing well. My name's Steve and today I'm going to be replacing the window seal inserts on our Geist LV 535 2004 model, and to be honest I don't think they've ever been replaced since the Caravan was born. We purchased these from a place called importeasy.com.au for $3 a metre, and also during the day I will be performing some cleaning up and some general maintenance. I started by unscrewing the window catches and decided to keep the good screws and disregard the rusted ones. I also placed the catches in water for later cleaning. And in order to get the arm off, I needed to rest the window against my trusty ladder. I then decided to clean the window catches to get rid of any rust marks or water stains. I then grabbed a pop rivet and inserted it into the window lock release hole in order to slide the locks off. This is the inside of the locking mechanism, and we're pressing the middle flap to release. Unfortunately, I'm somewhat pedantic, so I couldn't help myself from cleaning again. Now, after the locks had dried, I grabbed out a WD-40 silicone spray just to try and loosen up the locks a little bit more. It was then simply a case of grabbing a flathead screwdriver and just jimmying it underneath the window insert, and then just slowly and carefully pulling out the insert from the window seal. It was then important to grab a damp soapy cloth and remove all the gunk that had built up around the window seals throughout the years. As you can see, some of the staples were quite rusty, so I decided to use some rust buster to oxidize any of the rust and prevent any future issues. I cleaned the window frame because it seemed to have some sort of algae on it. And I cleaned the window because it seemed to have some of the window seals stuck to it. I'd noticed that the window locks were a little bit wobbly in some areas of the Caravan, so I decided to tighten up the bracket that they attach onto. It was then time to measure out the new window insert tape. I simply placed down the old tape and rolled out the new and just cut to length. I then temporarily placed masking tape on the window trim and then grabbed a ruler and marked where the screw holes were, so that once the trim had been installed, I'd be able to locate the holes a lot easier. I decided to pull down the window shade because the next step in the process is to use our silicone spray and apply it to the window seal in order to make the window trim insert more easily into the seal, and I didn't want any silicone spraying inside the Caravan. The first technique I used to insert the window trim into the window seal is by bending the trim into a U shape, then pushing it up against the window seal so the edges of the trim are against the edges of the window seal, and then pushing down on my thumb onto the trim so it kind of pushes into the window seal. The second technique I decided to use was to insert one side of the trim into the window seal, and then using your four fingers there to squeeze down on the trim and kind of curve it into the other side of the window seal. I didn't want to use anything sharp like a flathead screwdriver because these seals were a few years old and a little bit brittle, and I didn't want them to break. I then went round with a paper towel to remove any of the excess silicone spray. You will notice that when the silicone spray interacts with the old window seal, you'll get some sort of black dark residue on the trim, but that's no big deal, it wipes off quite easily. I decided to purchase new stainless steel screws rather than using the old screws as they were a little bit tarnished. Now the new screws were a little bit wider in circumference than the old screws due to the fact that the old screws had a wider thread than these new ones. I then went ahead and started sliding back the locks onto the window, starting with the one with the arm first so that I could use it as support when sliding on the other locks. And just like that, we're done. Please see the following video clips for the end results. Now the next project that I need to move on to is to remove the crazing and the scratches in the windows, as you guys would have noticed throughout this clip. And the other thing I need to do as well, I've noticed that the windows have started to delaminate somewhat, and I think that may have caused a little bit of leakage, and I think that may have been what caused the rusting of the bottom screws. So stay tuned for future videos. In the description of this video, I've included links to other YouTubers who have included the techniques they use to install trim into the window seal. Thanks very much for watching and good luck with your projects. Cheers guys.